Fellas, I'm gonna say full spoilers for Deltarune's Chapter 3 and 4 on this video. I think a lot of the videos we've been doing with Deltarune have already crossed that line, but just in case you wanted to avoid really specific spoilers, this is your only warning. Though if you clicked on the thumbnail, I imagine you already know what that's about. Today we're talking about the Roaring Knight. Just look at this dude. He's absolutely, definitely papyrus. The antlers are actually a red herring to make you think it's one of the holidays when it's clearly not. There is like Earthbound reference galore in this boss fight, and when I first played it, I thought that it was unwinnable, or at least I wasn't going to be beating it, and I was correct in my assumption that you can progress the plot by losing to it, and I told myself someday I'll come back to beat this fight. But after I had finished my stream of Chapter 3, I went to go watch Rambo play this goddamn thing and spend 4 hours trying to beat it because he was trying to figure out if there was a pacifist method to do it. There's not! But the thing is, people have rapidly decided that the Roaring Knight is actually like one big Weenie Hut Jr. of a boss encounter. Like, even if you beat this fella, in order for them to get away, they have to make a cutscene start playing immediately! Toby Fox, give me some interference! This is Browse we're talking about! One of my favorite demonstrations of this is from, like, Golden Sonic Racing Crossovers video. It's fucking Goku, SpongeBob, and the Roaring Knight versus Sonic, and the Roaring Knight, it pulls out the Nike logo of despair and doom on Sonic, and just absolutely doesn't work. He hacks his way out of that shit. Supersonic immediately on that shit, and then Roaring Knight is the first one to get packed up. Except for Goku, actually. It's kind of pathetic how they did Goku here.
Did you really try to pull the same trick twice?
Hey, it worked twice in a row last time, man. The animation is really tough. Shout out to Golden if you guys are interested. I would really recommend checking out the whole thing because there's a lot more to it than just that. But Sonic gets to work pretty goddamn fast, packing this motherfucker in against its strongest attacks. It's over, bro. It took SpongeBob and Brawly actually locking in to get this shit done. And that's not all, man. Chris probably rage baiting the hell out of the Knight in that roaring group chat. Chris, low diff by Susie is crazy. Summoned a Titan because Big Bad Ralsei was on your ass. And they still beat the Titan, mind you. The Knight, a baseball and deer, kill yourself! It is insane how people quickly turned on the Roaring Knight having aura into just being a complete dunce of an enemy. And I think most of them would agree that they're only as good at fighting this boss as they are because they've practiced it like for hours on end. So they just have all the muscle memory they need in order to no-hit it. But they're making sped up edits like this. The video co-pilot shockwaves every single frame of the video. I can't play the exact music that's in this edit here, but it's exactly what you expect. Just a trap music to a video game enemy getting its shit kicked in. This is from Alton, by the way. Oh my god. Oh! The thing to keep in mind is that everybody doing this is like self-aware to an extent. Done using infinity amount of tries and revive. It's not about how accurate to the game it is. It's about maintaining the agenda. Like, it doesn't matter how good your response to anybody dissenting to your opinion is, you just need a response that's good propaganda. Could someone let me in on how the Roaring Knight is a fraud, even though without the Shadow Mantle they wash everyone easily, and the response was somebody beating them without the Shadow Mantle sped up? Oh man, I should have known we were gonna see the potential man meme again in this. The Knight is so lore important. It has to be the hardest boss. Meanwhile, they show up before the halfway point of the game even hits. Wait until the Knight really tries. Chris's team up with the Knight will go crazy. I saw someone the other day letting the Knight kill both Ralsei and Susie, and then beating the Knight as only Chris. What do you mean beating people holding back or off guard isn't a feat? Roaring Knight on their Chapter 3/4 performance. 0 feats, 1 fight, 3 ducks. Arguably, they lose in canon. Give me liberty, give me fire, give me holding back Chris or I retire. This is actually true because Chris does more damage when Ralsei and Susie are down. If and when, but never is, get my own work done and deal with the massively below me fun gang myself? Let a Titan do the work for me because I know Gerson is gonna dual buster my ass. Sources report the Knight has gone missing after summoning the Titan, likely due to sheer embarrassment of how they got absolutely tossed by a bunch of high schoolers. That boy Sonic can grand slam now, huh? I better keep my ass a Delta Deltarune, or I'm finished! No-hit Roaring Knight in 7 turns. I don't even want to watch this video, man. It feels like it's gonna be a complete dismantling of everything that makes this guy cool aesthetically. This On the Plow guy decided to mod the Roaring Knight to something closer to their actual power level instead of those scaled-up gameplay things. They even gave Chris, Susie, and Ralsei like Undertale pacifist run levels of health. Look at how weak this guy is. This is canon. This is lore accurate as far as I'm concerned. Ugh, I could have dodged that with my eyes closed, in my sleep, easily. Seriously, you need glasses! This is some hateful flavor text, man. It's nice that they let you look up all Roaring Knight cutscenes on their own because there's nothing to enjoy outside of that. I'm totally bullshitting. I've never beaten this boss. I'm just maintaining the agenda, man. I got hired as a marketer, not as a good steward of good faith information and debate. Like, they killed Tenna while he's off guard. Very, very impressive, dog. The TV who had just been beaten down and was getting somewhere closer to self-actualization in life. Very impressive feat, bro. And look at this. The dude loses the fight and is like, oh shit, I gotta grab Toriel and scram. Bro can't even maintain his Dark World form. What a fraud! And Susie's like, well, I see my opportunity. Like, she gets the Shadow Crystal off of him just by clashing with the baseball bat. There you go. If you have the Shadow Crystal, that's proof you beat it, man. And then they have to cutscene swoon this shit because they're too much of a pussy to do it for real. They don't even want to try it on Chris because they know it's not gonna work. They're like, please take me knighting you as an out, please. And Susie is still able to stop the guy by grabbing his leg because you can tell he's shit scared right here, man. He's like, oh no, she's still awake. I'm done for. And this dude, after getting badly thrashed, their goal from the start was to get Toriel, right? Undyne shows up, they get like absolutely lit up, the block gets spun on them and they're like, oh no, this shit is over. They're like, fine, I'll settle for the cop. And this is an Undyne who has no formal training, and this guy still knows, okay, I'm cooked if I stay here. No formal training in the Dark World arts. They just instinctually know how to use the spears. Yeah, you better run, buddy. You better run. What a coward. There is a complete Deltarune beating the Roaring Fraud playlist that I found. Sham even has dialogue if you beat the Roaring Knight without the Shadow Mantle, which it is possible to do. You fought the Knight, didn't you? Well, we all know there's no winning there. What? You got the Shadow Crystal, and without even using the Shadow Mantle? You three, you might be even sicker than that old clown. I mean, considering we beat Jebel in Chapter 1 when we were like very, very low potential characters, I think we're like well past trumping that clown, yeah? One of my favorite bits in this whole thing is that like, the Knight probably made a huge miscalculation by kidnapping Undyne and just getting the hell out of Dodge, when Undyne is probably running the fade for days on end until we finally unlock the code. Sans and Toriel doing the jitterbug, meanwhile Undyne and the Knight in the shelter. You're giving the Knight way too much credit with this badass design, man. Like, they got Undyne wearing the Roaring Knight as a cloak in a panel ripped straight from the Invincible comics, dude. This shit is diabolical. Like, if we just consider how long it takes some of these people to beat Undyne the Undying versus the Roaring Knight, let's scale these characters by our own performance against them. Roaring Knight's cooked! I know that they're canonically completely different entities, but again, we are not here to be purveyors of truth. We're propagandists. We must maintain the agenda. I want to hear what this Mystic Slime fella has to say, because they're like the only person I've seen actually give commentary on this topic outside of this video. It's mostly people just using it as a bit.
Roaring Knight without taking a single hit of damage, you'll get this unique flavor text saying that Chris
coughed. The enemy slowly tilted its head. Chris really telling the Knight to lock in. It's like, dude, you gotta make this look better, man. Like, you are throwing too hard. I know you don't want to kill me, but you gotta make this look convincing.
The only explanation I can interpret from this is that this is Chris signaling the Knight to try and end the fight, because if it keeps going the way it is, they will get smoked.
Oh, I just love the idea of whoever the Knight is, be it Des, be it Papyrus, be it Carol. They are just flabbergasted at how they are getting their shit tossed by teenagers who have only ever been in the Dark World for like half a week at this point, less than that, because it's technically day 3 in the canon. They haven't had years to dissect this shit like we have. It's been one continuous day after another for the fun gang.
But notice how both Susie and Ralsei needed to be caught off guard in order for them to do so.
Exactly, bro. They're a fraud. They can't do that shit for real. Like, Ralsei was cooking his shit and tanking his attacks in Chapter 4, when all he was doing was, like, walking ominously up to them. What I can give the Knight credit for is, like, the psychological warfare they were capable of employing through that tactic. Still a fraud, though. And again, they needed a cutscene to pull it off. What kind of power scaling is this? Anyways, that's all I got. Let me know if you guys have any other roaring fraud moments I missed in the comments below. That kwytebox email is in the description if you guys want to send me any video topics. Anyways, piss off.